Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rough Diamond podcast. This is our first fitness episode. So I'm super excited about this episode because firsts are always fun. So I want to introduce my beautiful, illustrious co-host and co-producer, partner in crime, all of the above, Toria Wilson. Toria, are you Toria Wilson today?
I think right now in my life in general, I'm very much Toria Wilson. I've just kind of have this,
I like it.
swagger about me right now. So yeah,
So
call me Toria.
what's up, Toria? And then and then we have Emily Jeffrey on the pod, and Emily is a coach on our amazing badass coaching team, Metamorphosis Elite.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
we will have much more on that later. But yes, this is the Rough Diamond Pod, the very first fitness episode. And then, Emily, I wanted to ask you, do you know the background behind Tori's name?
I don't actually, and I would love to hear it.
Oh, lovely. Jennifer, why don't you explain it?
Okay, I will. So Tori, her name is Victoria. It is a very prim and proper name, which matches her personality most days, but not all days.
Yeah.
And then on the days that Victoria doesn't match her personality, it used to just be Tori, just easygoing Tori. And then life happened and it turned her into Toria Wilson. And Toria Wilson is the sassafras of Tori, all the way down to the bone. So if she's feeling like Toria, everybody better get out of her way because she might leg sweep you. She might.
If you're lucky. No, I'm just kidding.
I love that because my middle name is Paige, and I also have an alter ego, and Paige is a little crazy.
Yes, nice. I love it. I love alter egos. You know
Yeah.
what it does is it gives you the freedom to be expressive in who
Mhm.
you are, right? I think a lot of times society and just the way the world is, we get really trapped in, and not necessarily trapped, but boxed into these ideas of who we are, right? So having Toria Wilson or Paige, an alter ego, gives you that opportunity to put your hair down, be a little sassafras if you want. And what that does is I think for me anyways, I can only speak to my experience. Toria Wilson gave me the opportunity to express myself with a little bit more freedom than what maybe Tori or Victoria did. Victoria and Tori were very concerned about what other people think. Toria Wilson, she don't give a shit. So, yeah.
No, that's so true. It gives you the opportunity to step outside yourself and just
Yeah.
be raw for a second and then come back.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Jennifer, what's your alter ego?
This is me, guys.
I know. I was gonna say there's no alter ego there.
I'm the one
she
that
is who she is.
pulls the real you out of you. And then you call it an alter ego. And I'm like, okay.
We have to put a name on it, otherwise it's dangerous.
I'm dangerous. I had to put in check a human that was very much outside of all boxes. Yeah, we'll say it like that. The human that I am now is the refined version of that chaos. And I'm really grateful for that chaos because that chaos made me into the human that I am now, who can help people and love on people because I've been through every possible life situation that you could think of. Somebody can come to me and be like, oh, I'm pregnant and I don't know what to do and blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, oh, I've been there. Let's talk about it. Or I've been through women, especially. I've been through domestic violence situation. I'm a domestic violence survivor. And victor is what I like to say. I'm a victor over domestic violence, but I'm a safe space for anybody that's been down that road. I'm a safe space for somebody that's dealt with narcissistic abuse, someone who has dealt with deep shame, someone who has dealt with trauma, someone who's dealt with just having a good time all the time and drinking too much. There's a bunch of different life scenarios that my insanity and sassy behavior have led me to that grew me in ways. I was just really rebellious. Whenever I was a young person, I didn't believe the authority figures in my life. I didn't trust them. I didn't believe the words that they were saying to me. Most people, adults, were rude and had weird standards, and it came to come to find out they were all wrong, and that's why I didn't believe them. It's just, oh, okay. It was like my gut instinct being like, these people are not trustworthy. But it caused me to rebel against the system. It caused me to buck it. And now I'm a coach and I try to help people to tame their own fire or bring it out if they need to, because that is also good. It's a balance that is required from us.
Yeah, I like that you actually brought that up, Jen. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about today and ask you too, because you're both in fitness, you're both fitness coaches. Emily, tell me more. How did you get into fitness in general? We'll start
Mhm.
there and then we can kind of dive deeper from there. So, what brought you first into the world of the fitness world and getting healthy and eating right and all of those things?
I struggled with obesity my entire childhood. It was a lot. It was a long time that I struggled with that, and I got to a point where my marriage was crumbling and I needed a change. That was the jumping start that I needed. Was my whole life was getting turned upside down, and I said, this is the perfect opportunity to make change. So it was then that I started focusing on my health. I had gone to the doctor and they helped me with weight loss medications and things like that. I lost the weight. And then I had a transfer addiction and I was drinking all the time. And I it was brought to my attention that I was probably drinking too much. So I quit cold turkey and I needed something else to do. So I got into fitness. I started going to the gym. I had been paying for a gym membership for 6 years at that point, and I probably had
Yeah.
been there 3 times. So I went, and here we are. Honestly, it changed my life. It's like a phoenix rising from the ashes situation. I had hit rock bottom for sure, and I don't know, the gym just became a second home.
That's awesome. I can tell I've seen some of your social media posts and I've seen you've had a pretty substantial transformation. That's awesome. Jennifer, you had a pretty substantial transformation as well, and that kind of brought you into the fitness world. Why don't you tell us some more about your path to fitness?
If rock bottom was a place, I was underneath it for sure, like in the depths, in the dirt. I I was a very rough and tumble teenager, early 20s, 30s. I worked in bars. There was a lot of drinking happening. There was a lot of partying happening. There was a lot of we had a lot of fun, but it wasn't sustainable. That area of like where we're from, a lot of people have passed away from alcohol related issues, like a ridiculous amount of people. And I found myself at a place where I was like looking at either I could commit to this life of just partying and probably dying young, or I could commit to this life of making a change and moving away and doing something different. I moved to Colorado with no money. I didn't even have really gas money. Literally, it came to me on the trip as I was coming. Everything just came together and I ended up being here. I got a job, I worked my butt off, and I decided that I wanted to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. And I decided that I wanted to be healthy, and I started to walk 7 miles a day. I walked around Wash Park here in Denver. I walked around the entire perimeter of the place and then walked back home. So that was 7 miles a day. I would stop and do squats at this little bench on the side of the lake. And I knew that I was sick. There was something going on with my A1C. I didn't go to the doctor, but I was having numbness in my fingers and tingling, and I was having some pretty bad fasciitis in my feet. And so I could tell that I was pretty sick. And I was like, I'm just gonna move the needle forward on doing healthy stuff. And if it gets worse, I'll go to the doctor. But if it doesn't, then I don't need to go to the stupid doctor. And so I ended up not having to go to the doctor. I started losing the weight, and then I was working at Pizza Republica. I decided to climb Kilimanjaro because I fell in love with this school in Africa that this guy runs. His name is John St. Julian. It's in Tanzania. It's at the base of Mount Kilimanjaro. And John just loves kids. He goes and he finds kids and he helps them and he gives them medical care. He gets them out of child labor. He helps the moms. He has a ton of rescue dogs. And I wanted to climb Kilimanjaro to benefit that place because what he was doing moved my heart. I still haven't done it. And then I ended up meeting George Evelyn, who is a famous DJ. His name is Nightmares on Wax, because he did the tallest DJ set in the world on the top of Kilimanjaro to benefit that school. And I thought I had gotten tickets to a concert, and I really had gotten a ticket to a meet and greet. And then me and George are still friends to this day. We don't talk as much as we used to, but we still interact on the interwebs over social media. And he has connected with me with people that are involved in somatic healing and people that have trained at Oxford on somatic healing.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yes,
that is cool.
super cool. And that led me to start working out on my lunch break because I was going to lunch every day with a cute boy that had a girlfriend. And so,
Oh,
in order to, and we were just friends, right? But I wanted to make sure that there was like healthy boundaries in place. And so I started going to the gym instead of going to lunch with him because I didn't want anything to escalate beyond just friendship. I didn't know if it would or not. I didn't think it would. But at the same time, I wanted to make sure to get ahead of it. And I wanted to climb Kilimanjaro anyways. So I started I started working out at Planet Fitness on my break between shifts at Pizza Republica, where I bartended. And and then my friend became the casting director for Radical Body Transformations and posted it on social media. And I was like, what the heck? I want to do this. I just started working out. I want to climb Kilimanjaro. I want to do all this. And I was like, why didn't you even think of me? You're so rude. I became a competitor on Radical Body Transformations season 3 or something, and ended up getting invited to Atlantic City because I did so well in the competition. And they actually had us all come to Atlantic City. One lady came from Great Britain. She was awesome. What is her name? Oh my gosh, Patricia. I used to coach her. She's so great. I love her so much. But we made best friends, of course, because I make best friends with everybody. But we had such an awesome trip. We all got to connect. But all of the competitors for Radical Body Transformations connected. That created this awesome just network of people. I was just like, oh, this is gonna be so awesome. Radical Body Transformations is a huge blessing to my life. It gave me the ability to completely transform my body. I was already on my way, losing weight, go to the gym, training. I did high altitude training at Red Rocks.
Yes, you did. With me, a girl from Texas. She's let's go hike Red Rocks. Hang on, just real quick. Don't mean to interrupt, but I have to tell this story. She was on this journey, so I come up and visit her, And she's, let's go hike Red Rocks. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's go hike Red Rocks because I've never been there before and it looks beautiful on everything that I've seen. I'm from the flat land, okay? Sea level. And she doesn't tell me about the altitude at all. So we're going, she's got her daughter with her. How old was your little one at the time?
4.
4. She was little. And two dogs and the 4-year-old, and they're just smoking my ass. And it's simple steps, you know what I'm saying? It's not a crazy incline, but I'm like, oh my god, I think I'm gonna die. And she turns around because they're just up doing their thing, and they turn around, where's Tori, where's Tori, where's Tia Tori? And I'm like laid down on a rock. I'm like, oh, I don't know. We barely even started. She's like, you got this, but we do need to slow down because Tia Tori is not used to this altitude at all. I was like, no, I am not.
That's too funny.
I did high altitude. I did it for several years because I wanted to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. So every summer I would go up. I got to the point where I literally can jump all the way to the top of Red Rocks, like box jumping every step all the way to the top. I hurt my knee one time, and so I don't like to do it, but I can do it. It's not my favorite thing to do, but if you challenge me to do it, I will definitely go do it. I'll be like, oh yeah, absolutely, I'm gonna go do that.
I also feel that way about box jumps anywhere. I don't want to do it, but I can.
I went on to become a bodybuilder. I won my first and only competition 2 times. Yeah, 2 times. I got second place also. Maybe 1 or 2 times. I think 1 time. First place twice, second place once. Yeah. I don't remember. I have been coached by George Farah. I have been coached by Lisa Vigliotti, Heart Hands. I have met amazing people in this industry and just really came from a really tough, hard environment and transcended that. And I can tell you from experience that it's possible for literally anybody. There is no limits on what we can do once we make a decision and do it. Because after you make the decision, the things that you don't need shed, even when it feels awful and it's so painful, that stuff going away in your way so that you can be better. And understanding that, coming into the understanding of that has completely changed my life. And I'm so happy to be able to put out my hand and pick up other coaches in the process. And Emily has her own amazing coaching business and is coaching people. And Emily coaches people that really struggle with weight loss. I'm a transformation coach too. So that is something that I love to do. But Emily has a lot of experience clinically when it comes to fitness. And that's something that I really appreciate about you. So can you elaborate about what you're doing right now when it comes to school, everything, all of the things?
Yeah, for sure. And before I do that, I want to say what you and I have been talking about is what I love about the fitness community is that everybody has a story of how they got started. And a lot of them are very similar. The circumstances may be different, but the feeling and the power behind those stories is so similar. So when you enter the fitness community, if you just open your arms and let people in, you meet so many cool people. Like when I first started going to the gym, I was that girl that would go in, put my headphones on, just mind my business. But look at where I am now. And it really just opens up doors. And I don't know if you feel like this, Jennifer, but I think when you hit what you consider to be rock bottom and you feel like everything is happening to you, you realize I have control over this. And that's when you make the decision to make a change. And only good can happen from that. And that kind of leads me into your question is once I decided to take my health seriously, I started doing the work, I started educating myself. It led me down a career path into the weight loss space because of my own experience and everything that I learned. And so now I'm the clinical director of a weight loss clinic here in South Carolina. I'm in school for dietetics. I'm doing online coaching, and it all is just so intertwined, and it's really fun. And it's really cool.
That's
I,
awesome.
I really love that's what you're doing. Like you're getting the full spectrum experience from an online trainer, personal trainer, nutrition coach perspective, and a dietetics, like a registered dietitian type perspective. I think that that union meeting of those two minds is so important. And I think that is a lot of people do not want to foster those connections from those two different communities of people that help with weight loss. And I think having both of those in your wheelhouse will really make an impact on others, a positive impact on others, because I think that collaboration of those two would be so powerful. I have with in my experience with registered dietitians, they don't typically want to work with a nutrition coach. They have a lot of opinions about nutrition coaching and what it is. And to be clear, nutrition coaches, we do not prescribe diets or say, hey, this is clinical for your health. This is no, we say this is a template for you to follow. If you follow it, it will probably work, but moreover is the most important thing is you learning the things that you're supposed to be eating and how many calories you should be taking in for health, just in general. And then registered dietitians dig into the deeper, more clinical prescribing diets, and having that melding of both worlds will really be is really an effective thing that can make a large impact. And so it's frustrating to me when registered dietitians are like, man, you're a nutrition coach, da, 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 da. And I'm like, but be my friend. I want to
We
help
all
you. We can help each other. We can be homies. So the fact that you have both inside of you is amazing.
Yeah, I have this dream someday of owning my own business that is clinical based fitness and nutrition and prescribing fitness programs, prescribing nutrition programs, because there are some people that need it. There's the whole eat less, move more thing that has been pushed on everybody from society is just not true, but it's so hard for people to let go of. So a lot of people just need the clinical side of it to really explain it and to give them an outlined plan. And we do that as coaches too, but I have this big dream of having my own place to do that. So I think it'll happen someday.
I think having both the abstract approach and the clinical approach is effective because then you can because some people do not respond to a holistic approach. Some people do not respond to that you can just eat your food, you can eat your nutrients, like blah 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 blah. Some people are like, no, I want to take medicine. I want this to happen faster. I want because it's not because there's something wrong with them. It's not because of it's because of the society that we live in. And it's because of things that have been like deeply ingrained into them from before childhood, from their parents and parents' childhood. Like, and emotional eating, these attachments, all of that stuff. What I do holistically is we work inside out. We tackle things that may be causing the emotional eating. We tackle things that, and they don't always know it's happening. They don't, it's not that I'm like deceiving them. It's that we're working on something that they're just not conscious that they're doing because of that thing. And being able to drill down on that with people is impactful because it helps them to understand themselves better. And having a counselor that understands what it's like to just want an easy fix, but then for you to be able to get to them and create that holistic connection, it's next level. It's awesome. I love it. I have a dream for you too.
Yeah, and it's what we do in our challenges, right? We work on mindset and routine. It's not just fitness and nutrition, but like you said, they don't always know that it's happening, but it is. And it's really cool to watch, really, as a coach.
That is cool.
The best thing in the whole world and the most fun thing about being a coach is watching these people transform so quickly. honestly.
Yeah.
My fitness dream is to have a food medicine restaurant and a
Ooh.
gym with no materials that are synthetic, and every single thing is healthy from the minute you walk in the door. You have skylights with no film so that the sunlight gets through the skylights. I want to put plants in the walls to clean the air. I want to make sure that the floors are good for grounding, maybe even have some dirt floors in some parts so that people can walk around in there, maybe have a room with the dirt floors. And I want to have just, I want it to be a community center with a restaurant attached, family style meal situations. Like maybe we shut down for a little while and we have a party where all of our community members come and we all sit and we break bread with this awesome, delicious food, and then do catering with the food medicine restaurant, meal prep, all of that stuff. So that is what I'm building a client base for in Littleton, Colorado. So but maybe I don't know where it will be. I don't know. I haven't decided where I'm going to put that brick and mortar business. But for right now, me and Emily and Tori are doing an online spring challenge, and it's a cash challenge. I think maybe the deadline by the time we get this out, hopefully it won't be the deadline, but we'll have another challenge on deck. So it doesn't really matter. Either way, there's going to be something for you guys. But our challenges are awesome because they are progressive like that. And because we have multiple coaches. Emily's not our only coach. We have another third badass coach who is also a bodybuilder. Her name is Michaela Kustens. She is located in British Columbia, Canada, and she is a badass Viking powerhouse of an amazing human.
Yeah, she is.
Our coaching team is Metamorphosis Elite Fitness
Mhm.
Coaching. We all three specialize in similar things that cross over really well and complement each other really well. And then we also have our own individual specialties.
It's been really crazy, actually, how we've all just meshed so naturally. Because I obviously knew you, but I didn't know Tori or Michaela before we started this whole thing. And it's like we've known each other forever, the four of us.
Yeah.
It was so natural, and we have so much in common, and we just bounce off each other all the time. It's awesome. I love it.
I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
It is very natural, cohesive. To be honest, Emily, I thought that you and Michaela had worked together before as well. So now that I'm just now hearing that this was new to you too.
Yeah.
No, it's great personalities. I think our personalities mesh really well together. But Jen, you made a really good point. You guys each have your own specialties, and that's the best part about a team, right? You don't want a bunch of people who are exactly the same on a team because it's the same as it's just duplicating one person. A good team has people who can meet the needs for multiple people. And in doing so, Metamorphosis Elite and that fitness team is going to be able to reach more people and have a greater impact than if it was just one person or one style of coaching or one specialty versus having multiples. I'm really excited about what's going to happen and what we're getting into.
Same.
Yeah, so just a little bit background for our listeners. We are creating a fitness movement that is really geared towards changing the world. Just as the easiest feat, no big deal.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see people understand what it means to be healthy. And that's what we all want. And so that's one thing that makes us mesh well is that we have a real passion for seeing people just get healthy because it changes perspectives, it gives clearer understanding, it delivers togetherness and community, it helps foster good values. There are many reasons why getting healthy and leading a healthy life and learning how to lead your life well are beneficial. So I think it's so important as a society in 2026 with everything that's going on and all of the issues of the world that are happening right now that there's voices that are helping people to stand in their own self and in their own skin and feel good and feel healthy and have a good mindset. And that starts with physical fitness. The physical fitness helps to affect all other systems. It is my belief that we have three active systems: mind, body, spirit. And whenever we are taking care of one, the other ones become nourished too. But also, in the same way, when we are neglecting one, the other ones become depleted also. So, when you are nourishing your physical body, having missions and things to do, which is what our challenges, within our challenges, we have incremental week by week things that you do that feed the larger mission of what you're doing for your health, but they help you to also sort through your habits and sort through your crappy processed foods that you may be eating that might be causing inflammation and different things like that. They help you sort through discipline blocks by making you schlep your butt out of bed and do squats as soon as you get up. There's a bunch of different ways and methods that we use and we collaborate to use to help people step by step feel confident about what they're doing when it comes to their fitness. And then as that grows, they become confident in what they're doing. It starts to change their mind and it starts to change their spirit. And people get scared when you say, we're a holistic mind, body, spirit. They're like, what are they going to do to my spirit? Nothing. You're going to do it. Don't worry.
It's a domino effect in every part of your life, like you said.
And if we are able to effectively help as many people as we can to get healthy, they take these habits and they multiply them to their family. I never say, don't take my nutrition plan and multiply it by 4 and feed I never say that. I will never say that. Don't duplicate it. Don't give it to your cousin. You won't catch me saying that. Hell no. Fucking make a copy of that shit. Put it in your cousin's mailbox. Stuff it in her. Put it on her face. Make her do that shit because it's so helpful to her life. I don't care. Tell her all of my secrets. That's fine. You don't know my secrets. Every single thing I do, one thing has 4 purposes. So, you don't know my secrets.
And then it pushes them to get their own coaches too, because not everybody is the same. That happened here. When I was with you, Jennifer, just as a client, my girlfriend was doing the same nutrition program that I was because we cook together, we eat together, and it wasn't working for her because we're different people. So now I'm coaching her and our nutrition needs are different. And imagine that. She's starting to see progress now.
Awesome. Amazing.
Yeah.
It's multiplication. And that's a beautiful thing. Like creating multiplication. And that's what's wonderful about adding the right coaches to coaching team too. And having multiple coaches that have a same mission and we're on a unified front attacking this and creating more multiplication. You in South Carolina, Michaela in British Columbia, me here in Denver, Colorado, Texas, like wherever I can be at any given moment. You never know. It's so awesome that multiplication exists and that we get to do it. That feeds my soul.
It's an honor, really.
Yeah. And it gives me wings to be able to provide that help for others. Does it always make them happy when I'm telling them? No, never, probably.
I can attest to that.
Yeah. I'm sure I get cussed a lot whenever after.
Me too, Emily. She's been my coach before as well.
Yeah. She says it in a nice way, but you know what she's saying.
You get the nice way. I've been her
Yeah.
friend for 2 decades. I don't always get the nice way. But I need that tough love sometimes because we have had that friendship for 2 decades. So sometimes I do need a swift kick in the ass or an ego check because that happens a lot too. Because I am a Virgo, which I don't know if you know this about Virgos, but we know everything. And
My friend is a Virgo.
okay, so you do know how we are. And yeah, Jennifer, she has to be like, I know you know, but I'm just telling you that you don't know this. So do what I say. And don't tell me you know. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. Nah.
Sometimes it's not yes, ma'am. Sometimes it's block, delete. And then I just
24-hour timeout.
Yeah, it is a 24-hour timeout.
but I hold my people accountable, not because I'm trying to be mean.
No.
No, it's because I love my clients. I was talking to a client today, and she said to me that she knew I loved her, and she felt that love. And that makes me so happy. And also, I was talking to a phone representative for our marketing team, and she also said, I can tell that you really love your clients and they mean a lot to you. And I was like, every single one of them. And that's because I'm invested. I'm invested in your well being, I'm invested in your ability to become a leader of your life. That is so important. And I don't give a shit about your politics. I don't give a shit about your race. I don't give a shit about anything that has to do with anything. All I care about is that you're a human and you're leading your life well. And because every single person, we're all the same. The hell are you guys? We're not different. Everybody wants to feel love. Everybody wants to be acknowledged. Everybody wants to feel seen, and everybody wants to be safe. That's not different for anybody. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter how you exist, doesn't matter whatever. And if we just work to be kind and love each other, and that's part of that multiplication too, because that love goes further. What did you say, Tori, in that other podcast that we recorded about love?
The frequency of love and
Yeah.
how it counteracts. One person who emits the frequency of love counteracts 700,000 people who are emitting a lower frequency, a frequency of fear.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do they get these numbers? Nobody knows. Okay.
Tori could have made that up.
Listen, I am backed by Instagram and the rabbit hole I went down, okay?
And the Dr. Google.
Billy Carson.
This is the Rough Diamond podcast. We are non-experts
We are
talking
not
about
experts.
all kinds of things.
Yes. If I researched it, I will say it. I will say it. If I didn't, I will say it.
That's right.
We are experts, like me and Emily are experts in our field. But when it comes to like all of these greater stuff, we never tout ourselves as experts because we're always learning, right? The man that knows something knows that he knows nothing.
Yeah,
For
I
all
learn
of you
something new
other
every
people-
day.
So Tori, you're in the hot seat this time, my friend. Dun. What is your favorite thing about being coached online?
I really love the flexibility that I get with an online coach. If I were training with someone in person, there is that level of accountability of having to show up at that time of that appointment to get trained in person. However, my life is messy. My life is constantly changing. And so I can't really commit to that with an in-person type training environment. What I enjoyed about being coached online is that I had that flexibility. We had our weekly check-ins. You'd check in with me at the beginning of the week. You gave me a mission or goals. We would talk about what my goals were, whether that was around nutrition or movement of my body, lifting heavier, whatever that might be. And then I would have my days, you would put my workout days in. And if I couldn't get to it on Monday because my life blew up on Monday, I was able to tackle it on Tuesday. And so I didn't feel like a failure. And I feel like a lot of times whenever I've tried to do an in-person personal training session, if I'm missing those appointments because my life has shifted in some way or another, I feel, first off, I'm being disrespectful to somebody's time. So that's one thing. And for me personally, I've worked on appointment basis only, and I know what that can do to your money, all kinds of things, right? So I didn't want to be disrespectful to their time. Also, I felt like I was a failure if I couldn't make that. And so having that flexibility to be able to shift it in my week and still make it to where I have somebody who's holding me accountable, because we'd still have that check-in at the end of the week. And if I hadn't, if I'd put it off and put it off, and there was a few times that I'd put it off and put it off and put it off, and then we were talking on Friday, and I'm like, so I'm going to get them in the next 2 days. And you're like, on the weekend? And I'm like, okay. So then we had a conversation about how I would do the hard things first, right? I build it into my schedule. Don't allow my schedule to be the thing that keeps me from doing what I need to do to keep me healthy. Because at the end of the day, my health is going to be what keeps me moving forward. And if my world depends on me and solely me, which my world does, because that's the life that I've created so far and the circumstances that I am in, then I need to be healthy. I can't afford to get sick. Even if I'm not talking inconvenience of like head cold, I'm talking about sick, something that takes you out. COVID. I, during the COVID whole thing, I had COVID at least 2 times. It didn't really take me out the way it took other people out. And that's because I was doing things already in my life. I had lifestyle changes that you and I had talked about and implemented at that point, whether it was walking daily, getting outside, putting my feet in the grass, having a good spiritual balance in my life, that whenever I got sick, I was able to rebound faster. I talked to you and I was like, I'm sick. And you're like, okay, you need to eat this. You need to make sure you're eating blueberries. They have antioxidants in them. You need to make sure that you're drinking water and having lemon in it and all kinds of things like that. Like
Eat protein.
eat
So
protein. Yes,
you know,
exactly.
muscle structures that are under attack and all kinds of different stuff.
Exactly. So I've appreciated that. I'm not a fitness expert like you and Emily, but I feel like if I continue to surround myself with fitness experts, I will have no choice but to get my act together.
There's 3 of us now.
And now we're going to grow this thing. We're going to regularly have these awesome fitness podcasts mixed into our regular Rough Diamond subject matter. Our podcast is about metaphysical things, God, current events, issues. We talk about everything. No subject is off limits. I have an open way of talking about things too. Nobody's biases really get involved too much. It's always just fun and humans, life on life, how it's supposed to be. And that's why we named it the Rough Diamond Podcast, because we are all constantly under refinement and pressure. And that constant refinement and pressure is good for us. And understanding that friction is what makes us stronger. Being able to hold that understanding in our mind is what keeps us moving forward and gives us the ability to lead others to come to that understanding as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we want to be strong as bitches.
And we are.
We
Yeah,
are.
of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
we
yeah.
already are. We just need our outsides to match our insides.
My
You
house-
guys, I was actually thinking about that before we got on. I was like, I put on another shirt and it was like really kind of showed my arms and I was like, ooh, yeah, sun's out, guns out. And I was like, I'm not doing that with either one of them. They're going to make me look ridiculous because you guys are,
What are you talking
Whoa.
You
about?
can't see mine. I got a long sleeve on.
Yeah.
I never wear long sleeves.
If I get a long sleeve, I cut them off.
You guys
They
are
just
lucky
come
I'm
off.
wearing a shirt.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
See, no alter ego needed, my friend. That's all
Yeah.
we need. That's all, baby.
That's the damn truth.
And it's all the time. What are we here for? Are we here to be attached to the framework that this place tells us that we're supposed to be attached to? Or are we here to break the shit out of that framework and instead have fun, implement whimsy, understand that we can do whatever? I saw a story about a dude that became a Green Beret he became a Green Beret. Then he went back to college and became a football player. And then he became an NFL football player at an old age. And he just decided he was going to do those things. And he decided that the limits didn't exist, and he did it. That is exactly how it's done. Understanding that the limits are not real, that they're implemented on us to control us by people that didn't believe that they existed.
Yeah.
And everybody has the capability to make any decisions for themselves. You can wake up on a Saturday and say, I'm going to go skydiving today. Go do it. There's nothing in your life stopping you from doing anything you want to do. And especially when it comes to taking your health back into your own hands and making changes that are going to make everything else then fall into place too.
Yeah.
So that's a great point. So let me ask both of you that for somebody who is really just starting on their fitness journey of trying to implement healthier lifestyles, more movement in their life, obviously the first thing that I would recommend that they do is get coaching from one of you or Michaela, get that coaching. But if they can't do that right now because they're whatever reason, what is some pointers or some good places to start for that person who doesn't know what to do first?
I would say educate yourself. There's so many podcasts, books, even shows that you can watch. Immerse yourself in it and start to learn. Because when you start to learn, then you can start to implement small changes into your life, whether it be making sure you're hitting your protein every day. If you're not ready to start tracking calories and macros and all of those things, just start tracking your protein. Eat more protein, keep track of how much of it is, and then everything else will start to fall into place. And as you continue to educate yourself and you start to learn more about macros and how to eat and all of that, the domino effect. I know I keep saying it, but it really just sets you up for success in the long run.
Because it starts to get exciting. Whenever you start to figure it out, it's, oh, and then it takes away the emotional component. I've noticed that too. People that emotionally eat over the course of the last 6 years that I have been coaching people that really struggle with emotional eating. Once they start to learn what macros are, once they start to understand what they're putting in their body and the value of the habits that they're implementing, the emotional attachment to the foods that they were emotionally attached to goes away. Or it loosens up enough to where they can let it go later. And so I think that's a great avenue to go down is self-education, learning as much as you can about nutrition, because we don't learn anything about nutrition really when at growing up. Doctors don't even learn a ton about nutrition. I actually collaborate with doctors more than I collaborate with registered dietitians. Doctors are always excited for somebody to collaborate with because they don't know. And they'll be like, help. Or if you come with a bunch of information that you researched that they maybe didn't think of, they're still people, right? These are people that have been trained to diagnose people, but at the same time, they're still humans and they might not always think of every single scenario that's playing out. And so something might get missed. And most people that are highly educated are great with getting the assist. They're very happy to get the assist. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Oh, amazing. That's awesome. And then they can implement it. I have a client that has necrotizing myositis, and I researched things in her nutrition that could help. I didn't prescribe her anything. I didn't say, this is what you take to heal this. I said, these are the things that can help. Take it to your doctor and see what he says. And she did. And he was like, this is all great. This makes me so happy. He was excited to have the help. He was excited that she had support because they're humans too. And so that self-education can bridge that gap between your knowledge and your doctor's knowledge so that you can go in and you can ask the right questions when you're asking. You can find out if maybe whenever you're standing up and feeling dizzy, it's a blood sugar crash instead of blood rushing to your head or vice versa. right? Maybe it's you're over dumping insulin. Maybe the doctor didn't think of that. Maybe you could ask the doctor that question. And that's an intricate question, right? You would have to know what could be going on in these processes to ask that question. So self-education is huge. Demystifying the word discipline. You're not getting beat, okay? That's not what it is. Nobody's going to come to your house and beat you with a stick. Maybe I will if you live in Littleton, but
She charges extra for that.
Yeah.
is that charged?
Oh,
I
funny.
can just imagine you. They're going to bite a hamburger, and you're like, smack.
She pops out from behind the
Yeah.
booth.
You're not going to eat that donut, are you? Smack.
It's habits that you implement on a daily basis that are going to feed your future. That's what discipline is. Tori knows that that's what I started with. I didn't start with food. I didn't start with self-education. I started with watching videos of people that were smarter than me telling me how to do things like John C. Maxwell, Steve Jobs, Lisa Nichols. And then I started waking up at 4:30 every single day, 4 a.m. every single day rather. I was just like, I'm just gonna do this. And one thing that waking up earlier than you typically would does to you on a consistent basis, it makes you feel energized because you have this extra time. You have this extra time for yourself to set up your morning. Jim Quick was the person that gave me this tip. It was own your morning. And so I started to get up at 4 a.m. and I would write in my journal. I'd meditate. I still do this, right? This is even before I got healthy, even before I moved to Colorado. It was like every single day meditating, every single day writing in my journal. Then I moved to Colorado, every single day meditating, every single day writing in my journal, every single day doing squats, every single day doing sit-ups. And then I kept that. Like I've done that every day for like, I don't know how long.
10 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah.
And like just making that change and I just added onto it, right? It's
Mhm.
a feasible change that I knew I could make. And that's what it needs to be. It doesn't have to be my change that I made. It's the feasible change that will help you to go into a better rhythm that you can be consistent at, that you know you can nail. And take the one thing that you know you can nail and then build onto that with the hard shit that is tough to nail. And as you build onto that the cogs in that become prioritizing protein, educating yourself about healthy fats, making sure to get up and go walking, making sure to get up and go running, making sure to swim, making sure to do your balance exercises. I sometimes start from little baby seeds of nothing with people.
Mhm.
And sometimes we have to go all the way back to the beginning too, from progress. And
Mhm.
that I'm like, it's a windy road.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you said the word consistent because I was going to say if the word discipline is rough for people to handle, consistency, that's all it is. It's consistency. Discipline is consistency. And when you're consistent, it takes the scariness of discipline because I think if someone says, "Oh, I need to be super disciplined," if there's a day that they mess up, they're going to be really hard on themselves, and there's no reason to be because every day is a new day. If you mess up, you can try again later that afternoon, or you can try again tomorrow. It's just the consistency that matters. It does not have to be perfect.
Right. People think that if they don't get it perfect, like it's all or nothing, they just throw the rest of the day away. I had a conversation with somebody that gets on my nerves, and he asked me why I had a glass straw in my cup, my like Stanley cup. And I said, because I don't want microplastics in my water. And he was like, well, it's in everything anyway. Who cares? And I was like, that's just like saying, I ate a burger today, so I should eat 20. Who cares? Like, that is ridiculous. No, if I can minimize it, if I can minimize the damage I'm doing to myself by emotional eating or not moving or whatever, it's just minimization of that damage. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, just
Mhm.
go eat a hamburger tomorrow, right? Instead of
Mhm.
a chicken sandwich.
Mhm.
Like,
And nobody's perfect. I
no.
had a corn dog before I got on this podcast. Like,
I love
please. No one's perfect, but I was great all day and I'm going to be great later.
it.
Well, but because you have consistency, because you have
Right.
established consistency, you have room to eat that corn dog, right?
Mhm.
Because your metabolic rate has improved. And that's something that we can get into in for future podcasts when we talk about more technical stuff, is how lifting weights, building muscle improves your metabolic rate. So you can have a corn dog and you don't have to worry about getting fat. I have one client, he's very worried about the way his abs look all the time. Like, can't get fat, blah, blah, blah. Gave him more food. Guess what? He lost fat.
Mhm. Yeah, that's what happened to me when I started working with you. I was so terrified of a carbohydrate and I was so terrified of a gram of fat. And I mean, it just makes the biggest difference when you eat right.
Yeah. And it's
Mhm.
balanced.
Mhm.
All it needs to be is balance, dude.
Yep.
All you have to do is have it be in a deficit from what you exert. And sometimes you exert a lot. Like, if you have a good amount of muscle in your body, you put out a lot of more energy than any calculator on the internet is going to tell you, any of that. Like, my total daily energy expenditure, if I put it into a calculator based on my weight, my age, and my height, it says that it's like 2,000 calories. It's like 6,000 calories. Why? Because I'm in the gym all day long. Because I'm
Right.
doing pull-ups, because I'm doing squats, because I'm jumping, because I'm running. I'm like a kid. I'm burning through that. I'm not special. Didn't always have that metabolic rate. I was overweight, sick, all of that stuff, and changed those things around by making small changes first, and by educating myself, and by intentionally growing.
Mhm.
What else are you gonna do?
Mhm.
Like, what else is
Right.
there to do? Like, so, okay, so you're alive once. You're gonna spend your time eating ice cream, sitting on the couch, calling an athlete a bum, when you could be leading your life well, outside with your kids, being an athlete yourself, like, having a better job, getting better opportunities. Because when people see that you care about yourself, they put you in places that are important, because
Mhm.
you think you're important. They know that
Mhm.
you value you, so they value you, right? The point is, nobody's perfect. Almost every single person that has been in the fitness industry has come from extreme pain and loss. We've Most of us have been obese. Most
Mhm.
of us have struggled. So when you
Mhm.
see us in the gym, we're not going to be mean to you. We're going to be nice to you, because we are
Mhm.
exactly where you are.
My face may say otherwise, but I promise we're all nice.
Yeah, we might be dying. That's one thing that I do. I'm like mean mug, because I don't want anybody to talk to me, because I don't want men to talk to me particularly. Leave me the fuck
Mhm.
alone. I'm trying to work out, dude. I don't have time for your shenanigans, especially if you're cute. Get out of here.
My RBF game is strong.
Yeah. I took one of my clients to the gym for her to feel more comfortable about the gym, because she was like, I'm nervous to walk in there, blah, 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 blah. If you're nervous to walk in someplace, I am the perfect person to take you in there, because I
Mhm.
will make you because I will walk right in front of something. I will walk like I will get this far from somebody's face and be like, hi. And they'll be like, hi, and just move on, just to illustrate. Do you see that person does not give one shit about me? They don't care that I'm nose to them saying hi, and they're just moving on with their day. Then they don't give a shit about you doing the leg curl machine wrong. Like,
Mhm.
they're not, nobody's watching you in the gym.
Right.
And like, I mean, like, I have done super embarrassing things to the gym. Nobody saw.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Full disclosure, we're almost out of time, but full disclosure, one time I cannot sumo deadlift. I will not sumo deadlift. I do not know if I cannot. I will not sumo deadlift because the first and only time that I PR'd at sumo deadlift at 275, I believe, I peed on the platform.
I knew you were going to say that.
I peed. And it like literally squirted out of my pants. You could see it. It was so embarrassing. You see my face go. And
You have all this weight in the air. What are you going to do?
what are you gonna do? You're just gonna play through that shit like a fucking champion, which is what I did. But my ex-husband took video of that and periodically will just send it to me so that I can be reminded of my face when I peed on the platform.
That's kind of funny.
It was super embarrassing, okay? But did I go back to the gym the next day? Yes. No one saw me. No one knew I peed on the platform. I walked all the way to the bathroom. Ben sat there. My ex-husband sat there. And I walked all the way to the bathroom, went and got paper towels, and I walked over to the thing and got the little sanitizer wipes, and I cleaned that shit up myself with the sanitizer wipe. It wasn't a lot. It was a tiny bit. Like I didn't like pee my whole pants on the thing like a waterfall. It was just a little bit of pee, but like I cleaned it up and I left. Nobody saw it. Not one human soul saw it. I told the person at the front before I left, of course, so that they could go over there with a mop and hit it with some disinfectant shit. But outside of that, like nobody cares. It's something that happens to you. Just FYI, if you become a powerlifter, it's something that
Yes. And that's what I was going to say. Even if somebody did see it, I guarantee at least one of them has done it before. And that's the thing, like people that are scared to go to the gym because they think people are looking at them, even if they are, they've all done a leg curl wrong. They've done a deadlift wrong. Everyone starts somewhere. So even if they're looking at you, they have been in your shoes before.
yes.
Mhm.
And yeah, and those were my powerlifting days. And I still can deadlift conventional. I'm trying to go for 300 pounds. I got injured and I dislocated a rib, and I've been nursing this little baby dislocated rib for like, I don't know, months. And finally, like it started to heal. And whenever I say don't stop moving, it started to heal because I kept moving, because I was like, whatever, screw this. Don't do this because like I know my body, right? Like, so I'm going to give a disclaimer to our listeners. This is not clinical advice at all by any means, but for my body, what I decided to do because I was pissed that I was injured and there's nothing you can do about a dislocated rib. You just have to deal with the pain. And I was over it. So I just started doing all the things that hurt the most all the time when I went. And guess what? They healed. Now,
Heavy on that disclaimer.
Asterisks everywhere. Asterisks everywhere.
Really bad, okay? Let's say it in Spanish. No, do not do that, okay? This is not a good plan. But I knew for myself and my body, I knew that I wasn't injuring it further because whenever I would finish, it wasn't sore. Like, whenever I would finish, it would feel the same. Or so that's one thing that you have to I would finish up and it wouldn't be like aching or anything like that. It would actually feel kind of better. And then now because I was consistently stubborn, obstinate asshole self, now it's healed. But the reason why is because your body takes over. Your body goes, oh, you're a pain in the ass. You need to heal this. But I mean, your body is an amazing thing. If you don't use it, lose it. Don't be scared to go in the gym. If you need help, reach out to a coach, get coaching, join one of our challenges, join any of our challenges. Sign up for coaching with us. You will grow. You will become a better person and opportunities will open to you because of people we know, and because of people you know that see you growing.
Mhm. And your body is an amazing thing. If you feel like you're too far gone, you are not. You are not too far gone. Nobody is not able to grow.
How much weight did you lose, Emily?
Over 150 pounds. I think I've lost 162 pounds now.
Amazing.
Mhm.
That is amazing. That's a whole person. That's a whole man.
Quite
That's
literally.
that's amazing, Emily.
Mhm.
Oh,
I know. And thank you. It's sometimes when I talk about it, I kind of forget that it was me because that version of me is just so far from where I am now. It's hard to even fathom.
it's a shift in complete consciousness. Like, I do not even like, I used to smoke cigarettes. I could not imagine myself with a cigarette in my hand. That would be so,
Same.
Yeah,
that would be
same.
so awkward. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I used to eat chicken wings every day. If I ate chicken wings every day, I would die.
Yeah, no.
I used to snort cocaine. If I snorted cocaine, I would have a heart attack. I can't even drink freaking Red Bull. Are you kidding me? Like, I would straight up die. I used to drink Rumple Mints. We were
Yeah.
like Rumple Mints. I would die. If I
Nope.
drank Rumple, I would fall asleep. I don't even, I'd probably throw up.
Yeah. I used to eat a large pizza to my face in one sitting with sides, and I can't even eat two pieces now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is different.
Just shift, and when your consciousness shifts, like, it's just a wild thing to imagine these past events. And it's like, that was that even me? Was I living inside my body? I guess I was.
Mm-hmm.
We're all humans, and we all have past, and we all have stories, and we all have like just everything. So, like, nobody should feel self-conscious. You're not alone. And you don't have to walk anywhere on this planet by yourself. You just have to find the right people, because sometimes the wrong people will lead you down really stupid roads. But if you find the right people, then they can lead you to really beautiful pastures of healing and opportunity and creation and everything else.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. I think before we get off, I think both of you should plug your IG handle so that way if people are interested in getting coaching from either of you, they'll have access to do that if they're listening. So, Emily, what is your socials so that way people can find you?
On Instagram, it's empowered purpose, period powered underscore purpose. And then on Facebook, it's just Emily Jeffrey. But I think if you search empowered purpose there, you'd find me as well.
Awesome.
Mhm.
For me on Instagram, you can find me under Jennifer Lopez Fitness. There's some underscores in there. So if you find the one with the underscores in there, then that's the one. I think there's like only one Jennifer Lopez Fitness. Like, as soon as you type it, it comes up.
There's only one.
Um,
There is only one.
I mean, I haven't ever seen, I've always, like, anytime I've like typed it in, it just pops right up. So,
Mhm.
Jennifer Lopez Fitness on Facebook as well. And then Jennifer Lopez on Facebook, but that might be a little bit harder to find because there's a lot of Jennifer Lopez's. If you are looking to get coaching, you can email me at investors@wewarriors.net. investors@wewarriors.net. And you can request Emily as a coach too. And I will get her that information about you so that you guys can connect, because we are creating new domains and building infrastructure for
Mhm.
awesome fitness movement that we are creating. We are so excited. It is important. And I think probably a good plan to get in on this at the ground level, while we are all just new and crushing it.
Mhm.
New at our jobs. This movement is new, and
Mhm.
it will give you an opportunity to get access to some services that you might not have access to in the future. So,
Mhm.
um, awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming on the Rough Diamond podcast. Emily, I appreciate being on my coaching team and be my
No, thank you for having me. This was fun.
Thanks for being here, Emily, and sharing your time with us and your expertise. Join us next time on the Rough Diamond podcast.
Yes, you guys have a wonderful night.
Thank
Bye.
you.